Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the bottom line. So, man, to let you all know, man, I'm a huge boxing fan, man. We got a huge mega fight, super fight, man. One of the biggest fights that we done had in a long time this weekend. We got Saul Canelo Alvarez against Terrence Bud Crawford. Super fight, man. One of them fights that us as boxing fans we salivate over. Never thought that it would actually happen, honestly, because you're talking about two guys that are in that are separated by three weight classes, three different divisions, three division separation in weight class. You got Bud is at 147, actually started at 135 lightweight, but for the last couple of years settled at in 147 at welterweight. And you got Canelo Alvarez that started at welterweight 147 and has comfortably basically settled at super middleweight. That's at 168. But they were able to come to terms and come to an agreement and are able to get a mega fight. Like I said, it's one of those fights that, we never ever thought that we would see. I mean, they played around with it and mentioned it and teased it. They've been teasing it for a while now. But once again, we didn't actually think it would happen. One, because Canelo, he really would say that he didn't want the fight. He felt like it was a lose-lose. It was nothing for him to prove. There was nothing for him to, with all that he's done in the sport. I mean, he's fought so many great guys, great champions. He felt like there was no need for him to fight somebody that's three divisions smaller than him just to prove a point. Obviously, Bud was clamoring for the fight. Bud been trying to get his just due in boxing for years, bro. Like I said, Bud is really late in his career. He's just been kind of getting the notoriety and all the accolades and the fame that comes with boxing, but it took him a lot longer than it should have. He should have got it a lot earlier because, Bud is one of the best fighters in the world, bro. Bud is one of the best fighters of all time. I mean, when you're talking about IQ and you talk about ring generalship and total boxing skills and everything that goes along with boxing, he's up there with Floyd Mayweather, bro. I even really believe in his prime, he might have. If him and Floyd fought in their prime, I would give Bud a legit shot to beat Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's that talented, bro. I'm serious. Like, Bud is up there, and boxing fans, they know, man. I mean, he's up there when you talking about talent and skill and all of that. He's right there. But once again, he took so long because of the path that he had to go. He just took so long to finally get his just due in boxing. And this is now the biggest fight of his career. I'm glad that he got it. And I also think that's why he wanted it, because his last fight with, his last fight is kind of really what put him on the map. With Errol Spence, where that he fought, not his last fight, but his last super fight. His last major fight was with Errol Spence, and that was supposed to be the modern day fighter of the century, two of the best welterweights of the last 10 years, finally going at it for undisputed. It took years for them to get that fight. It was supposed to be up there with like Mayweather, Pacquiao type shit, and they hyped it up to be all that. But what happened was on fight night, it was a one-sided ass whooping, man. Bud whooped Errol Spence. I mean, it did not look like a super fight at all. It didn't look like two of the best fighters of this generation. It looked like Errol Spence was not in Bud's class whatsoever. I mean, they had casual fans come out like, is this what y'all said was supposed to be the greatest fight in the last 10 years, 20 years, fighters and all this? Because Bud made it look so easy, bro. So, I mean, he made Errol look like one of his easiest opponents that he had ever fought. So, I mean, he did get a little bit of the fame and the notoriety that he had been waiting on his whole career, but he made it look so easy that it didn't give him the huge boost that he felt like he was going to get from that fight. So, but it did kind of put him on the map as a superior fighter. But this one here now, man, is going to be even bigger. It's on a bigger platform. It's on Netflix. They're going to have millions of viewers out there. And like I said, if Bud was a household name like a Mayweather, like a Pacquiao, the fight probably would have been even bigger than what it actually is. It's huge, don't get me wrong, but Bud's name is just not, it don't hold the weight of what a Mayweather and a Pacquiao and a Canelo, it don't hold that kind of weight. But I'm glad that he getting his chance, he's getting his opportunity. Now, if he wins, I think his superstardom will go through the roof. It's just unfortunate it's towards the end of his career. But once again, the fight itself once again, man, it's one of them once in a lifetime things that boxing fans are really, we getting a treat, man. We really are getting a treat. Now, who do I think is gonna win? I'm picking Bud to win, but I gotta be honest. When we talking about, if you're talking about ring IQ, skill, pound for pound, punching power, as far as their power in their respective weights, I got Bud. The only thing, like I said, I think Bud has most of the advantages going in. Obviously, the one thing is the size. They're fighting at 168 for all the undisputed titles, but Canelo gonna be 200 pounds on fight night. After the weigh-in on Friday, he gonna come in, he gonna, make his weight 168, but he gonna be a bulldog on fight night, bro. He gonna be I believe Canelo coming in between 190 and 200 pounds. But they never fought nobody that big. Errol was probably close to it, but once again, Errol was scared. Errol was scared of Bud. I think Errol went in there knowing that he couldn't beat him. I think he went in with a defeated mindset already, because Errol was probably close to that too, but Canelo is different, bro. Canelo done fought many a champions. Canelo has fought some of all the best fighters there is to fight. He done moved up in weight. He done fought light heavyweight guys at 210, 215. So Canelo is he's a truck, bro. He's a bulldog because he's short and he's so stocky. But also he hit like a truck, bro. And man, Terrence ain't never been hit with nothing like that, bro. He ain't never been hit like that. And like when Canelo coming with them body shots and he touching them in his body, and when Canelo swings and he throws, bro, he throws with conviction, bro. He throws to knock you down, bro. Like he not one of them pop guys that try to win. No, bro. He hits you. He's trying to knock you out. He really thumps. And especially to the body. So I don't know how Terrence is gonna react, to those hits when he's taking them, because Terrence like to fight, bro. Terrence is a fighter. He's not Floyd Mayweather as, I'm moving around the ring, defense, tap, trying to point you out and trying to school you and hit and not get hit. Nah, man, Terrence is a brawler, bro. Terrence is a fighter. He going there, he uses his IQ and his ring generalship and all that, but Terrence is gonna fight, bro. He's a killer. He's trying to knock you out. So he's coming to fight. So he's going to stand in the pocket and trade with you. Even though he's a counterpuncher, he's going to trade. So he's going to get hit, bro. He gets hit in his fights because he's looking to come back and counter and, get that knockout because he feels like he can take your punches. I don't know if he'll be able to take them blows from Canelo, because Canelo really do hit hard, especially them body shots. Anytime I think back to the last time Canelo fought somebody that was a smaller guy than him, or one of the times he did was when he fought Amir Khan. Now, Amir Khan, at the time, when he was in his prime, remember, Amir Khan had some of the fastest hands in boxing. He had the fastest hands, by far, in boxing. And a lot of people were saying that he could have used his speed and how fast his hands was and move, and a lot of people thought he might be able to beat Canelo, give Canelo problems. Now, in the first 3-4 rounds, he was using his hand speed, bop, 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 and he moved, bop, 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 and he moved. And he was really, a lot of people was like, oh, okay, Amir Khan might have his game plan. But what happened was, every time he would come in, Canelo would, boom, land one of them body shots. He'll come in again, bop, 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 boom, he'll catch him with one of them body shots. Amir Khan started to wear down as the rounds went on. Amir Khan started wearing down. And you could see by the 5th, 6th round, and them body shots was really, really starting to get to him. And so what ended up happening was all that speed and quickness with the hand speed, he really started feeling the punches. And then in round, I believe it was round 6, he wore down too much. And Canelo was able to catch him with that right cross and knocked him clean out. One punch on the chin. Just clean knocked Amir Khan out. And so what I'm saying is I feel like, now do I feel like Terrence is naturally stronger than Amir Khan was? Yeah, because Amir Khan didn't pack on a lot of muscle. He was more of a, like I said, a finesse fighter, hand speed and all of that. But at the same time, like I said, Canelo is a truck, bro, when he hits. And he takes his time and he likes to wear you down, especially down to the body. So, like I said, we're going to have to see if Terrence is able to, withstand those punches or whatnot when they come in. Because, like I said, Terrence going to stand in and trade with him. But, like I said, we will see. But what I will say about Canelo is, where I think he's vulnerable, is that whenever he fights somebody, because a lot of, like I said, Canelo's been a great champion for a long time, biggest name in boxing, always done beat some of the best fighters in boxing, but Canelo has that, a lot of his fights, he had that Mike Tyson effect, where the guy went in there like, oh shit, this is Mike Tyson. And he had that mental edge over a lot of the fighters. And a lot of the fighters went in there just trying to survive when they fought him. They were not trying to engage with him. They were just running around the ring, trying not to get knocked out, to try to, because they knew that was going to be the people took the fight because they knew that was going to be the biggest payday that they ever got. Because if you fight Canelo, you 10 million plus guaranteed. So they wanted to fight with him, but they just wanted to survive because they didn't want to trade. They didn't want to get knocked out. They gave Canelo too much respect, just like Mike Tyson. So he had that mental edge in most of his fights, and he would end up going in there and knocking the guy out. Now, the times that he struggled was when he fought somebody that believed that they were better than him, or if not just as good as him. When was this? When he, obviously this was a long time ago when he was a younger fighter, when he fought Floyd. Floyd at the time knew he was better, went in there, schooled Canelo. That was his first loss. But he schooled Canelo. Straight took him to school. But Canelo was young. Then after that, remember, Canelo's career took off after he fought Floyd. Now, when was the next time he struggled? When he fought Triple G. Triple G at the time, Triple G is one of the best middleweights to do it, man. He was one of the best ever, bro. Knockout streak like crazy. Triple G was knocking everybody out coming up in the ranks. When him and Canelo fought a couple years ago, Triple G believed in his mind that he was the best middleweight in the world. He did not believe that Canelo was better than him. Nobody wanted to fight Triple G. Now, Canelo, I give Canelo credit because he stepped up and fought Triple G. But Triple G was one of them cats that felt like he was better than Canelo. Now, me personally, I think Triple G won the first fight, but they called it a draw. I think Triple G won. And then Canelo, in the second fight, I did think Canelo won the second fight. But what I'm saying is he struggled because Triple G is a brawler. And Triple G really felt like he was better than Canelo and fought Canelo, went at Canelo. They brawled 2 fights in a row. And so whenever you have somebody like that where they feel like they can beat, that they better than you and just as good as you, Canelo struggles. It is never as clear cut. When was the next time? When he fought Dimitri Bivol. To me, right now, Dimitri Bivol is the best fighter in the world, me personally. He's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now is Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol went into that Canelo fight believing that he was better, believing that he was going to beat Canelo. And that fight, if you go back and watch that fight, the fight wasn't even close. Dimitri Bivol dominated Canelo. He was moving all around the ring, popping him with his jab, popping him with his combinations, bop, never let Canelo get comfortable at all. But also, once again, when they went into the fight, his mindset was not, oh shit, this is Canelo. No, he knew he was better, and he went in there and he fought like it. And he dominated Canelo. Canelo had no answer for him. This is the next fight where Bud, I know for a fact, Bud believes that he's better than Canelo. And he's going to go in there and fight like it. So that's another edge that I give, because whenever Canelo is in there with somebody that he struggles, whenever he's in there with somebody that feels like that person feels like they're better than him and that they can beat him. And Bud really do believe he's going to knock him out. So that's another edge. That's the one vulnerability. You know, if he don't have that mental effect like, oh shit, they fighting me, and he don't have that mental domination, he struggles, and he's not the same. So, but in this case, he's fighting a smaller fighter. So that's one, like I said, that might be one of the reasons I still kind of give him a chance, because I don't know what Terrence Punch resistance going to be like when he steps in there. But once again, I still think, I'm not gonna say it, don't get me wrong, Canelo is one of the best fighters in the sport and of the last 15, 20 years, whatever. But once again, you're going in there with a dog, and a dog that really feels like he's better than you and is gonna beat you, and he's gonna come in there and fight like it. So, like I said, man, I just can't believe it's one of them fights that we getting, bro, because I never thought that we would see Canelo versus Bud. I couldn't have ever thought that we would see that. So the fact that we are is wild, man, and I can't wait till Saturday. You know, I know I'm showing up early, man. I gotta make sure I get a seat, because everywhere is probably gonna be packed. I think it's gonna be up there at the level of like Tank when Tank and Ryan Garcia fought. You couldn't go nowhere. Everywhere was packed out. Nobody was leaving. You couldn't find a seat in any bar around this town, around here anyway. I mean, the shit was packed out. I think this shit's going to be the same for this one, man. They really blowing it up. Shout out to Netflix for picking it up, you know, and you can watch it for if you got a subscription. But like I said, man, can't wait till Saturday. But like I said, I do got Bud. I think Bud is gonna pull it off. I really do. I can't doubt this man. He done showed me too much already. So, but good luck to both of them, man. Can't wait to see what happens this weekend.